Hey everybody, I'm here to practice with you on this practice sheet, which is MBT 1 skills. We're looking to determine the value of an underlying digit and also to compare digits in a multi-digit number. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is right here, determining the value of an underlying digit. This is using our place value chart and thinking about the value that the number has in that place value chart. So if you need to, a good thing to do at the top of your paper is to go ahead and make yourself a little place value chart. O stands for ones, tens, hundreds, comma, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and then if you want to get fancy, you could even put M for million. Okay, so having just this little place value chart, and you can draw boxes around it if you want, will help you when thinking about numbers. Okay, that's one strategy you could use for helping yourself out. The other strategy I've taught you is to copy the number down. When there's problems like this, you just write the number right below it or above it, wherever you have space, and then you're going to fill the spots in with zeros all the way to the ones place. So this 4 is in the hundreds place, and I know I need to fill in my zeros to the ones place. So that means that 4 hundreds is worth 400. Okay, over here, they're asking about the 3. I can see up here on my chart that 3 is in the hundred thousands place. I copy the 3 down, and then I'm going to fill all the way to the ones place with zeros. And I can see that that has a value. 300 thousands is worth 300,000. Another little pointer for you is if your handwriting is a little messy or you have a hard time stacking things up this way when the numbers are neat, get yourself a line sheet of paper and just copy the number. Turn your line sheet of paper sideways so it's horizontal and the rows are going up and down. Copy your number in. For example, I could copy in 56,756. Now I have nice, neat rows, so when I copy the 6 down, I know that's the number they're looking for, and I fill in with my zeros. See how nice that is? It helps me to keep everything nice and neat in the rows. So I see that 6 is in the thousands place, and I know 6 of those is worth 6,000. Okay, here I have the 5 in the tens place, so if I copy the 5 down, fill in the 0 to the ones place, 5 tens is worth 50. Okay, here's a big number. I think I might copy this onto these rows just so we can help stay nice and neat. There's going to be a lot of zeros. They're asking me about this 2 all the way out here. I know that 2 and this number is in the hundred thousands place value, so I'm going to copy it down and I'm going to fill in zeros all the way to the ones place, and I can add my comma. I see that 2 in the hundred thousands is worth 200,000. So I'm going to copy my answer onto my paper. Make sure you have the same amount of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check, triple check your work. Okay, so here they're asking me about the same number actually, but now they're asking me about the 8. So I could, on my scrap paper, just go like this. And now I could copy the 8 down. I see that 8 is in the 10,000s place. These 2 spots seem to be the trickiest for my 4th graders, so I'm just showing you some strategies to help yourself. So I see that the 8 is here in the 10,000s place. I'm going to copy it down, fill my zeros in to the ones place value. I copied the comma in the correct place. I see that 8 10,000s is worth 80,000. So I'm going to copy my answer. I'm going to check my zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. I feel good about that. Okay. Now we're going down to these problems. One here, number 7 rather, says compare the value of the 2 in 13,426 and the value of 2 in 7,289. So the first thing we're going to do for these problems is stack them up. So I'm going to put these numbers right on top of each other so I can get a good look at where the different 2's are because I'm doing the value of 2. So now I'm going to go ahead and underline it. When I underline it, there's the school bell. When I underline it, I see that the value of this 2 is one space behind the value of that. I can see it's one jump. We know that one jump is worth 10 times. Because this 2 is behind the other 2, this one is greater than this one. Okay, so the way that I'm going to write that is this 2 it's smaller. It's only worth, this one is worth 20, and this one is worth 200. So you can see when I'm saying it that I'm going to say that actually I'm going to say it this way. The 2 in 13,426 is 10 times less than the 2 in 7,289. Okay, it's 10 times less because it's one jump backwards to get, and I know that 100 is 10 times more. So, but you got to remember you're talking about this number. This is where this stuff gets a little confusing. Don't stress out, we're still practicing. Okay, we're going to try the next one. Compare the value of the 4 in 45,712 and the value of 4 in 18,436. So I'm remembering that I'm talking about the value of 4. The first strategy is going to be to stack these numbers up. Kind of write big and give yourself some space so that when you stack them up, you're able to put the numbers right on top of each other. So I'm talking about this 4 and I'm talking about this 4. Well, now I see that they are 2 place values, 2 place values apart. That's 2 jumps, so I know I'm going to be working with 100. I just have to decide, is it 100 times more or 100 times less? So I see that this 4 happens to be out front. It's further away. It's in the bigger place values. This number is worth 40,000. where this 4 is worth 400. Okay, so I can see that the difference here is that the top number is 100 times larger than the 4 here. So I'm going to write the 4 in 45,712 is 100 because there was 2 jumps and there's 2 zeros and 100. It's 100 times more or greater, either way. 100 times, I think they use greater a lot, than the 4 in 18,436. Okay, let's try again. Down here I have the number, we're looking to compare the value of 6 in 80,645 and the value of 6 in 142,265. So I'm going to stack them up first so I can get a good look at it. Make sure I put everything in the correct place value. Okay, and when I look at the value 6 here, I see that they're 1 jump apart, 1 space apart, and I can see the top number is worth 600, which means that's large. This number down here is worth 60. So I can see that the top number is greater than the bottom number. So I'm going to say the 6 in 80,645 is 1 jump. Remember, 1 jump is 10 times greater, because it's more, than the 6 in 142,265. Okay. Okay, last one. Compare the value of 8 in these 2 larger numbers, 98,523, and the value of 8 in 100,283. First, we stack them up. Make sure you're stacking them in the right place values. I'm looking at the value of 8. So I'm looking here and here. I see that I have 2 jumps, 2 zeros worth 100 times. Now I have to decide, is it 100 times larger, greater, or 100 times less or smaller? So the top number, the 0 is out here, the 8 is out here, so I know that that 8 is worth 8,000. Whereas when I look down here, this 8 is in the tens place, so that 8 is worth 80. So I can tell that this 8 is greater than 80,000 or 8,000, sorry, is greater than 80. So when I write my sentence, I'm going to say the value of 8 in 98,523 is greater or more, whichever way. Oh, we forgot to say the number. Hold on. Is we have to put in how much greater. It's 2 jumps, so it's 100. 2 jumps is 100 times greater or larger than the 8 in 100,283. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to have you do, and we're going to go over this in our live session, but the next thing that you're going to work on is this practice sheet number 2. So I'm going to ask you to give that a shot on your own, and then we'll go over it together as well. So here we go. Keep trying. You can do it.